Do you remember when history class used to be like this?
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of anyone? The Great Depression, passed anyone? Anyone? A tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which anyone raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue for the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the effects? It did not work, and the United States sank deeper into the Great Depression. Today, we have a similar debate over this. Anyone know what this is, class? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone seen this before? The Laffer curve. Anyone know what this says? It says that at this point on the revenue curve, you will get exactly the same amount of revenue as at this point. This is very controversial. Does anyone know what Vice President Bush called this in 1980? Anyone? Something DOO economics. Voodoo economics.
When I was in high school, I can remember history class. I can remember also not wanting to go to history class. It was one of my most boring subjects, which is kind of weird because I became a history major and now I am a history teacher. I've been teaching world history for 10 years, and I try to engage my students in multiple ways through Socratic seminars, direct instruction, and group projects. And I try to just make history come alive by making it relevant to their own lives.
I did it because history is still stuck in the dark ages. History teaching and its outdated context, outdated delivery, kids are simply bored of it. If you want a kid to hate their iPad, put a textbook on it. It's the same with history. We can't just live with static figures and dates and numbers. Kids aren't interested in that anymore. We need history to be brought to life. We need the teachers to actually use the power of technology and tell stories.
One way that I make history come alive is using Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a great way to upload primary sources and secondary sources, any sorts of documents and photographs, and they have it in the palm of their hands if they have the Google Classroom app. Now, they can access it anywhere. I usually and typically use it in the classroom with Chromebooks. However, if a student is absent, they can check their Google app and know what we did for the day. So I don't have to get those cranky kids who say, "Did we do anything yesterday?" One way that I assess my students is through Google Forms. I think the students like it because I'm able to add photographs and be a little bit more engaging in my assessment. Not only that, they're able to get instant feedback, and so right away when they take the exam, they get the scores if it's multiple choice, and if it is a constructive response question, they see my write-up and what I expected them to have in the answer. So Google Forms has changed the way I assess my students. Not only that, because I am become about 90% digital in my classroom, I'm able to give exit tickets through Google Forms. And so this is a great way to know if my students are learning and to see if I need to alter anything or change anything for the future. This is just one really cool activity that I do to keep the students engaged, and I use it through Google Sites. Each one of my students has a Google account that kind of they check their email and have all the functions that we do with a Gmail account. And with this, I create websites and use them almost as web quests. So it kind of covers all students' learning ability. And this one, for example, is the rise of fascism, which I created for my students for when we learned about right before World War II beginning. And so I put pictures and photographs. I used YouTube clips. In addition, I kind of put a little description that I had from a Google Doc that I always use. And some of these links and pages, they just kind of go along with the content and the California state standards. And it's a great way for students to be engaged in learning about all different sorts of subjects using visual aids and video. And so this is one way I get the students excited about history. All in all, I love teaching world history. I love teaching the ancient times all the way up to the modern. I like seeing the parallels between what happened then and what's going on now, and maybe we can get a little peek into the future. But I also love introducing technology into history. It engages all students, and it makes it come alive. I leave you with this. The very opening scene to Crash Course World History by John Green. I show every single video in my class, and he is fantastic. Enjoy.
Hello, learned and astonishingly attractive pupils. My name is John Green, and I want to welcome you to Crash Course World History. Over the next 40 weeks together, we will learn how in a mere 15,000 years, humans went from hunting and gathering...
Mr. Green, is this going to be on the test?
Yeah, about the test. The test will measure whether you are an informed, engaged, and productive citizen of the world, and it will take place in schools and bars and hospitals and dorm rooms and in places of worship. You will be tested on first dates, in job interviews, while watching football, and while scrolling through your Twitter feed. The test will judge your ability to think about things other than celebrity marriages, whether you'll be easily persuaded by empty political rhetoric, and whether you'll be able to place your life and your community in a broader context. The test will last your entire life, and it will be comprised of the millions of decisions that, when taken together, make your life yours. And everything will be on it. I know, right? So pay attention.